Dear student, today we are starting a chapter cell cycle and cell division. So we know that all the organisms, even the largest organisms, start their life cycle from a single cell that we call zygote. So to form a large organism, they need to divide. Now cell growth and cell reproduction are twin characteristic of any cell. So we know that any cell, for cell division, there are certain things that are required. First, it is the DNA replication, then cell division, then cell growth. So they all occur in a cycle. For example, first the cell grow, then DNA replication occur, then cell division occur. So they occur in a cyclic manner. So whenever now the cell growth, it is a continuous process. That means it occurs continuously. Whereas DNA replication occurs only once in the cell cycle. So, and it is highly regulated manner. It is done in, it is regulated by various proteins, several things inside the cell. In fact, the internal condition of the cell as well. Now, if we are talking about cell cycle, so these three are the basic steps. Now, what are the phases of the cell cycle? Okay. So there are four phases of the cell cycle. One, G1, then S phase, then G2 phase, and then M phase. G1 phase is the gap 1 phase. S phase is synthesis phase. G2 phase is gap 2 phase, and M phase is mitosis phase. Now we need to know that synthesis phase is the phase where DNA replication occurs. DNA replication, it is the process which is responsible for replication of the doubling the DNA amount so that it can go into the progeny cell, daughter cell. Okay, and mitosis phase, it is actual cell division. Now हम लोग को ये लग रहा है like what is gap 1 phase and what is gap 2 phase and why are they important? So they are highly important in any kind of cell cycle because gap 1 ensures that, for example, if we are talking about synthesis phase where the DNA amount has been doubled. So in gap 2 phase, the cell will ensure whether the replication has been done in a correct manner or not. And if there are certain errors which may be lethal to the cell, then this gap 2 phase won't allow the cell to enter into the mitosis phase. Okay, then gap 2 phase also ensures that a cell has a sufficient amount of resources or not. अगर cell के पास sufficient amount of resources नहीं होंगे, then again cell will not allow the cell to this gap 2 phase will not allow the cell to enter into mitosis phase. Okay, so what are the function of gap 2? Gap 2 is it ensures that replication is done correctly. Replication is done accurately. Second thing that it ensures is whether we have sufficient resources for mitosis phase. So that's why gap 2 is highly important. And when the cell division has occurred, the cell has entered to mitosis phase and two daughter cells has been formed, then gap 1 phase will ensure first that whether the cell division occurred accurately or not, whether the cell division has occurred accurately. Second thing that it ensured is whether we have sufficient resources for S phase. Because S phase or DNA synthesis phase, it also required a lot of resources so that DNA replication can occur accurately. Now, now G1, S and G2, these phases are called interphase, in which the cell spends most of the time, whereas M phase, it is the actual cell division phase. Cell division occur. So we can see it is the most dramatic phase of the cell cycle. Now, any typical cell, they spend their 90% of the time here in the interphase, whereas only 10% of the time in the cell division phase. Okay. Now, before proceeding, I would like to tell you some more concepts about DNA, about genome.